live. Welcome back to another edition of the Sunday Scaries. I'm joined by the Colonel, aka Sandy G, aka the Glorious One. As always, it's your favorite host, and saw something funny today.
Lay it on me.
Pretty funny. Swimming, right? We all love swimming. Confusing sport at best. Sometimes you swim for fun, but sometimes you swim not to die.
It's true. It's very true.
I'm a flounderer out there in that water, so
especially in your case, yeah.
I'm swimming to not die.
That's a very good point. I also
you got one for us too?
Got a funny for you. Why should you never date tennis players?
Why is that?
Love means nothing to them. That's a banger. I love that one.
Yours was better than mine.
Oh man, I'm gonna use that in regular life.
Feel free to just say that to somebody.
Yeah, we're not gonna copyright those at all.
Don't think we have any claim to them.
No, we don't.
All right. What are we doing today? We're gonna recap the Pro Bowl and all the hilarity that may be there, and then we're gonna select our XFL teams of the pod. This is going to be a big boost for them. I know it will be. We're going to go through the 8 teams, talk about the coaches, any notable players, and how we think they're going to do.
Sure. Let's make it happen.
You want to open up with the funniest thing you thought that happened in the Pro Bowl? The Pro Bowl games.
Yeah, so the entire Pro Bowl weekend?
Yeah, but they're just calling it the Pro Bowl games now because, you know, football.
There's a lot of games. The funniest thing that I thought happened was Derek Carr, in the midst of all this drama of him not having a team, wore just a generic NFL logo on his hat.
He went full Rob Lowe.
And that's hilarious to me. He's really playing into the turmoil. And as you said, he's being a troll.
He's the biggest troll. And I said this earlier too. I don't think he's good enough to be this big of a troll, but it is funny.
It's very funny. You know, and then the day before that, he was talking to Ryan Clark and just said, like, well, I'm not going to be in Las Vegas. So, oh well. You're right. He didn't necessarily put up great numbers to be able to kind of do this. But at the same time, I think he's kind of hearing from other people that he put up better numbers, arguably, than Dak. So, you know, it's kind of funny.
Here's really the reality of the situation. The people's champ, Josh Allen, would rather golf than do this garbage. So,
yes,
shouts out to him.
That is fun.
You know, when 90% of the AFC quarterback situation just goes, I'd rather not, or I am quote unquote hurt. You know, there's no reason that Joe Burrow shouldn't have been there. He just didn't want to go. Josh Allen doesn't want to go. And I don't blame either of them, because if you lose right before the Super Bowl, why do you want to go to this Pro Bowl? You know? So having the whole AFC bail, and it's like, well, here's Huntley, I guess. He played a few games.
And did actually pretty well.
Well, I mean, in the Pro Bowl, he looked just fine. He wasn't embarrassing or anything, but they were just playing silly games. They were doing their reindeer games, but I don't know. This new format, I think I could get behind a little bit if you remove certain aspects or elements. And if the players are aware that it's like a goof, but like try a little bit, then I'm in. But then you have Josh Jacobs, who just was like, this shit is stupid.
Direct quote.
And I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I think, you know, what you're saying about people say, you know, opting out, and especially those high profile people that made it far in the playoffs. I definitely agree with that. I think if they continue with this format or something related, throughout the years. I think less and less people will opt out, maybe, just because it's very low risk now. You're playing flag football and then a bunch of goofy games. I think other people will just, it's fun, and we also get a bonus too if we play. So
True.
yeah,
I don't know how many times Pat had to remind us that they were playing for $42,000.
as well as reaming on the refs every chance you get. And Kirk Herbstreit just quiet the entire time. I love that. That's very fun too.
Pat talking about the rules, and Kirk's like, you must have, or yeah, he's like, you must have stayed up all night reading that rule book. He goes, nope, they're right in front of me. I also thought the kick tack toe, that's gotta go.
That was awful.
Yeah. When the long snappers are the only one that hit the board, not a good look for the brand. Shouts out to long snappers. That's cool.
Well, I think tic-tac-toe specifically. So if you're talking about the punters and the place kickers, you're shooting at a very large window.
Sure.
And now you're forcing them to maybe narrow that down to like a 5x5 or 6x6 square.
Probably insanely difficult.
Yeah. So
do you remember in the Pro Bowl when they used to do horse with the kickers?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just bring that back?
Yep.
And remember in the Mad games they had the punting where you would punt it into targets for points?
Yes.
Wow, just do that. That would be actually fun to watch. See how far. Like started off with like longest punt for points, and then start it with precision punting, and then start it with hang time punting or something like that. I'm not here to fix their Pro Bowl games, but I could.
And I think for the kick-tac-toe thing, maybe you do centers and long snapper game only, and you just make them play tic-tac-toe together, I guess.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, those long snappers, that they were yeeting that ball. They were 25 yards out, and they must have been shooting that thing 25 yards, 20 feet in the air, just ripping it.
It was impressive.
So that was cool for them. Punters, kickers, shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Then the what was the next goofiest event? The sled pull, maybe?
It was really goofy in the way that the NFC just botched the first go around. That was kind of funny.
Five guys per side, right? And they kept saying the wall weighs 5,000 pounds. They had a bunch of weights on the back of it. And the NFC just said, we can pull 5,000 pounds.
I understand the thought, but yeah, execution was not going to happen.
If it was, let's say, a 2,500-pound wall with 1,000 pounds of weight on the back, and the risk versus reward of like, can I take off the weights fast enough and then just like sled pull 1,500 pounds extremely fast versus like, can I pull 2,500 pounds? Because those guys surely could pull 2,500 pounds, but 5,000 is absurd. That's an absurd number.
Well, I think a standard football sled is like 400, 500 pounds in itself.
Okay.
So I would assume that a NFL lineman could probably, move that 10 yards by themselves or whatever. But this was like a 20-yard pull or something, 25.
Probably something like that.
So,
well, and there's a difference, right, between the pull and the push.
Yeah, exactly.
So, tough. But then they figured it out, and then doing best of 3 on that is whatever, fine.
They were trying to get content. They didn't know what they were doing. Yeah.
So that one wasn't great. We could do without that. But I like the gauntlet that they did, where everyone had their own little sub challenge to do, I suppose. Running that guy that ran through the wall like it was most extreme elimination. He played MXC out there. He hit that first wall so hard and just ate it.
Right, you are, Ken.
That was the best game they had on that show too. Just making them run through a pond into either paper or straight up plywood.
Very fun.
Uh, but that was a decent event. You always can keep that one. The best catch was tough.
A lot to work out there. I'm glad it wasn't just the stupid pool thing
Yeah,
that they were showing before that. I was going to be so pissed if that was the actual challenge.
I agree.
But yeah, they actually tried to do something with it. Stefan Diggs behind the cheerleaders is very, very funny, very memeable.
He might
Um,
be under investigation right now.
it's a dangerous, yeah, very dangerous time to
He
be doing
might he,
something
he
like
might
that.
have been having one of those shoe cameras.
Oh no,
I don't know what he was doing, man.
it was goofy, but fun, I guess.
And he caught 0 passes. So
Yeah, didn't
best
score
best
very
catch, zero
well.
passes.
Mhm.
Shouts out to Pete Davidson scoring a 69 and then winking at the camera.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you want? They kept talking to him, and you know what? They didn't ask LT one question. And I bet Ladanian had some stuff that he wanted to say, but who am I to give him a microphone?
at this point, you think LT might be a little senile in his old age?
You think they're trying to hide his CTE?
I think they might be.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Okay.
So we'll just now focus on the actual game of flag football and then be done with this Pro Bowl nonsense.
Sure.
Coaches were great. Peyton and Eli doing the coaching, great idea by the NFL. Every year they should get brothers to do it. Next year they should have Jim and John.
Oh, that would be kind of
That would be
cool.
funny.
Wow.
And at halftime they should put them in um like those sumo guy suits and have them just run into each other instead of a coin flip. Yeah, do that instead of a coin flip. And the winning coach in the sumo outfit gets the ball first.
Okay.
That's what we should do.
That sounds fun.
Um, but Payne and Eli are great. They're always good for TV.
Great in the regular season with the Manning cast, and then just carrying it over to the first, revised Pro Bowl. I think that's fun too.
What was the thing that stood out the most from this flag football endeavor? Because they played 3 games, sort of. It was 3 real games, but they did it so all the quarterbacks could play.
Yeah. Um, I think it lends itself to a lot of like good looking numbers. Like, I mean, you're playing flag football, but you got your quarterbacks really showing that they actually deserve to be called the best in the league by putting up these large looking numbers. Um, I think minimal to no injuries except Miles Garrett dislocated his toe. But that, I mean, that just pop it back in and keep playing, buddy. He's a huge man. He can take it.
Yeah, I mean, if he can crash his car mysteriously,
I'm not going to comment on any
no
of that.
further investigation needed. He just crashed his car and then took himself to the hospital.
But yeah, that was the only injury. Could have been a lot worse on the Jalen Ramsey shoulder drop.
That play was awesome. When it's flag football and you don't really know what's going on and you are 1 yard away from the end zone and you decide to pitch the ball backwards as a guy tries to grab your flag, he set Tyreek up to get killed.
Yeah, kind of.
He did. And Jalen full on blasted him and then goes, whoops, what'd you want from me? They should have had a fist fight. That'd have been even better, but they laughed it off, which is probably for the best. But
And that's what I noticed a lot is that there was, I mean, it's the first time they're doing this. So there's going to be a lot of goof ups. And quite honestly, the refing they didn't know what they were doing.
that might have been the funniest part.
So it's fun that you saw a lot of those guys who are, pretty ultra serious throughout the season, just kind of goofing around and laughing at all the hiccups and stumbling and fumbling. So yeah, no, I think it was fun, and there was again minimal injury. A lot of people just having a good time out there.
I would say that if they clean up the officiating or find like a standard set of rules that, because people just seemed like they weren't agreeing on the rules half the time or didn't know what was going on. And Peyton was the ringleader of getting in that ref's ear. Bless his heart. They just kept being like, well, he's a Pac-12 official. It's like, well, good luck. You're now having Peyton Manning scream in your face.
Yeah,
He can't kneel the ball.
and that was kind of a bullshit
I said
ending.
I said that too, right? Like if you're playing flag football and you're like, dude, we're gonna win. Let's take a knee. Fuck you, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, a pretty big, we got the lead, we're gonna run away and hide type thing. That's kind of not fun for the fans, I don't think. But yeah, like you said, they were probably all NCAA refs who were given the rules, but they're like, it's cool. We don't have to read them.
No,
It's all good.
100%. Pat read him in the booth. Uh, the other thing that stood out to me, and you know what, it feels like I'm really hammering Pat Mack, but the last two times I've heard him on the microphone doing anything that's not his show, it has been a little rough.
He,
Him at WWE Royal Rumble was a bit rough, and then him doing this was a bit rough.
yeah, we talked about it in the moment. His live commentary needs some work, but there's no doubt that he is electric and can say a lot of good things for the brand,
100%.
both in wrestling, otherwise as well. So, ultimately, there's some work that needs to be done. But I mean, we can't do it.
No, I'm not gonna say I would do better, but given the opportunity, and I understand he definitely can't talk the same way he does in those settings as he does on his show. So, uh, shouts out to him. Best catch of the day was by the fullback.
Yeah, Juice caught that, diving,
Full extension.
arms extended catch. It was only like 5 yards or something, but that was way better than any of the best catch competition.
That was just a classic Kirk Cousins pass that wasn't anywhere near where it needed to be.
Yeah. And speaking of Kirk, one, I hate him, so this might be a little bit biased, but
I doubt it.
Throwing into triple coverage like 5 or 6 times in a row. It worked twice, but I mean, come on, man.
You know what? He's just got that arm.
Uh,
He's got maybe the strongest arm in the NFL in his mind.
I'm not going to give him that credit, but I'm glad you did.
I won't. Final score, who knows to who cares?
35-33, and it was NFC.
Yeah, but who had the most points?
I don't know.
NFC. I don't know either.
Yeah.
Tie. It was a tie. The first ever Pro Bowl tie.
That would be hilarious.
Whatever. They can work out the details later, but some team made $42,000. Congratulations. Wrap that up, I guess. I don't know. Anything else that stood out to you on that? Because I think that was a pretty good coverage of
it. No, not really. I think it's a lot of work to be done, but it was the first year they tried this format. So if they don't clean it up better, if it's not a more cohesive Pro Bowl next year, then maybe they just need to totally rethink it again. So
I think Huntley had the highest score in the quarterback passing challenge.
Yeah.
So it turns out when you're sitting at home and you go, I could do that, you might actually be able to do that.
Maybe. I'm not going to say that either.
We had a Jeff Goff sighting.
He played
like a Jeff.
Jeff showed up, and that's good. That's good for everybody.
2-time Pro Bowler. Shouts out.
Beautiful.
Would hang out with him.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the thing we care about the most.
Okay.
The XFL.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to pick a team each. We might pick the same team. We might be fully aligned here, but we're going to go through, and we'll just start with the coach of each team and maybe some notable players or what we think the vibe of the team is, because none of them got back to me on the internet. So I'm going to now make my own assumptions, and that's on them. Houston, the Houston Renegades, is that who we're working with here? Roughnecks, sorry. Not a great start.
Okay.
The Houston Roughnecks are coached by Wade Phillips. This team, by default, will probably be good.
Maybe. Do they have any notable folks
Nope.
playing for them?
Nope, they do not.
Okay. Well,
Their starting quarterback looks like it's going to be Caleb Ellaby from Western Michigan. I that name does not ring a bell for me, and I think it should, but I cannot place him. So this I'm hoping will be a strong defensive team, and in a league where defense is probably going to be extremely valuable, I think Wade might be the best on this franchise. He might be able to do the most for them.
player coach.
Well, obviously, looking through, there's going to be very few people that anyone would probably recognize. I like to look for the Pac-12 guys because that gives me the best chance to know who they are. But I'm really thinking that this team will maybe be the best coached, but maybe middling for the season. I will say that they don't have a great presence on the internet. I've been kind of looking around. They're not the most vocal. Maybe Wade's running their social.
Okay. I like Wade Phillips as a coach. Always have.
I mean, he's nuts.
So I think, yeah, maybe they will be very well coached.
He's coached in Super Bowls. He's been like an NFL coach for a million years. He's 75. He's old as dirt.
Nice.
He knows more football. He's forgotten more football than I'll ever know. Shouts out to Wade. But I'm guessing this team will be middling. And I'm going to eliminate them from my team of the pod. I don't know who any of the assistant coaches are either. But that doesn't really mean a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Team number 2. We have the Arlington Renegades. And they are coached by Bob Stoops.
Oklahoma legend.
He is a legend. And the XFL might be a lot closer to college football than professional football. So we'll see how this goes for him. He left college football for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what brought him back.
Maybe a paycheck. I don't know. I don't know what Arlington has in their coffers, man.
It's tough to speculate that, but their quarterback will be Kevin Anderson from Fordham. Let me know if you know who that. I know who their backup quarterback is, Kyle Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
I do know him. So he wasn't terrible, but he just can't play the NFL. So interesting to see someone above him. And maybe the the depth chart isn't fully set yet. We're still 2 weeks out, but I do know him. I think I think for the most part, this team is going to be, as far as I know, the XFL is going to be very, very top heavy with probably 2 teams. And I think there's going to be a lot of pretty bad teams. I'm going to bet that Dallas is one of them.
Okay.
Or Arlington.
Arlington, yeah.
Same, but different.
Yeah, I mean, you can just carry the franchise over from the 5-game season in 2020.
Do you think big NFL is going to start another lockdown so they can't play?
I hope not. I just want football. That's all I care about.
Where do you think they'll finish? Top half, bottom half?
Well, I like Bob Stoops as a coach. I don't really know anything about any of the players that they have. And, if you're well coached, you might finish right at the middle. So I'll say, there's 8 teams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They'll finish 4 or 5.
That's crazy because I asked top half or bottom half, and then you just named.
I'm going to go right down the middle on that one.
The best worst and the worst best.
They'll finish 4.5
All right.
out of 8.
Playing it real close to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a team that I'm kind of excited about. San Antonio. Oh, and just so we're clear, I'm eliminating Arlington.
Okay.
I don't know. So the San Antonio
Brahmas,
I can read.
which is a cow, a bull.
It's a bull. That's what the Rock is. He's the Brahma bull, baby. I think this is the Rock's team.
Okay.
He's not directly, but this is his team. He's got all the chips in their basket, so you want to watch out for them.
Sure.
They are coached by Super Bowl winning wide receiver Hines Ward. And their quarterback is Jack Cohen from Notre Dame. I know who that is as well, which is rare. But he should be okay, I think. If I'm imagining this like it's NFL Blitz, sorry, it's Blitz the league. Lost the licensing because it was too violent. A bit ironic for the NFL to be too violent, but I kind of hope that like his team is really good at wide receiving.
Okay.
That's what I hope. So who knows? Who knows? But I think this will be a team that finishes upper half. I like the coach. I like the quarterback. That's a quarterback that's played in a lot of big games. So I think this won't be too far from college for him.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day. I see Hines Ward as kind of a Mike Vrabel-esque type of coach. Real hard nose, get it done or don't. I don't got time for bullshit. And I think it'd be a fun team. I will agree. They will probably finish in the top half, well coached. Yeah, I think it will be a fun team to watch. If I didn't choose Seattle for my XFL team, which we will talk about in a bit.
Oh, wait a minute, let the cat out of the bag.
Then I would have chosen San Antonio just because of Hines Ward coaching.
Okay. Both think they'll be a top half team, which is probably good. Here's something that I know nothing about. The DC Defenders. The XFL did steal their head coach from Virginia State, Reggie Barlow. So the money must have been decent, or the opportunity must have been good. Who knows? He's going to coach this team, and he's going to be coaching what I think might be the worst team in the league.
Oh, wow.
I am not feeling good.
Hot take.
I have gone up and down this roster. But there is not a single person that I am aware of. It's not good. It looks like their quarterback might be maybe Eric Dungy from Syracuse.
Okay.
Or De'Aaron King from Miami.
Yeah, if De'Aaron King is starting, I liked watching him when he was in college. He got into a lot of extracurriculars off the field.
And that's why we're in the XFL.
But exactly. There you go. Yeah. So we might see some criminal ball from him if he's starting.
This could also be good for him because he was good at Miami.
Yeah.
He was good enough. I mean, Miami's been kind of in the dark years ever since, they cheated.
What are you going to do?
Get on my yacht, boys. There will be no improprieties here.
Oh, boy.
Just a bunch of hookers and coke.
I'm staying away from that
It's documented.
Okay.
They were the bad boys. They did so many that 30 for 30 on them. The NCAA sending out their new rules adjustment and a video of celebrations that are not allowed, and it was a 30-minute video on just Miami celebrating touchdowns.
Makes sense.
No more hip thrusts. I think this is gonna be the worst team. I'm calling it now. Calling my shot.
Okay. I will not say they will be the worst team, but I will say they will finish in the bottom half, maybe 7 out of 8.
Okay, that's fair. You picked a number. That's good. And we'll go on to, you want to take the Seattle one? You want to go over this?
Yeah, I let the pick of mine leak. Seattle. I'm going to call them the Dragons, even though they're Sea Dragons, just like I call Safe Go Field, and not T-Mobile. Just like
Hmm.
it took me forever to stop calling Lumen Field Quest Field. Um, yeah, Jim Haslett and Randy Mueller, who is the director of personnel, had a lot of success with that 2000 Saints team. And I think that's kind of where the relationship began. Starting quarterback's going to be the Nooch, Ben DiNucci.
That's
He
big.
was
That's big.
he was fun to watch when he was playing for the Cowboys, and he I can't tell if it was a joke or not, but he had a short-lived rap career where he made a couple songs rapping.
Do
Um,
you have a cool rap name?
I don't. I think it was the Nooch or I don't know what it was, but it was again. I couldn't tell if it was a meme or not. But
Absolutely not. Can't be.
when the Seattle Dragons in 2020, before they had to stop the XFL league, they had Godwin Igwanuke, but he's not playing there anymore. He's playing for the Seattle Seahawks. But some fun players on the defense too. There was an old Bengals linebacker who's now playing for the Sea Dragons, the Dragons. Um, I think that the Dragons have a chance to finish in the top half. I don't know if they have what it takes. I don't know if they have the roster, but another fun player that they have. I think this was kind of a no-brainer. I kind of saw it happening. Your boy Josh Flash Gordon is a
What?
receiver for the Dragons. Yep,
No kidding.
yep, and he picked number 0, which is also fun.
You know what the XFL should do?
What should they do?
Don't drug test.
Okay,
Just don't do it. If The Rock is going to put a stipulation on PEDs, his career would have been nothing. So
probably the biggest conflict of interest if he's like, yeah, you can't be on roids.
yeah, he loves that shit. But he'll tell you he does not.
Mm,
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 looking like he's on the juice, if you will.
yeah. Again, I don't know if they win it all, but they have a lot of good pieces there. It'll be a local team for us, so we might be able to catch a game if we're lucky. So
That's wild that Josh Gordon is playing for them.
it's
That's so
very
sick.
fun. It's very fun.
Their roster is actually kind of nasty.
Yeah.
They have so far this roster has had the most names I recognize.
There you go.
So I'm definitely with you. They're a top half team. Is DiNucci the best quarterback in this league? No. But he has real NFL experience and he has a Pro Bowl NFL wide receiver.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that him and one other starter quarterback is the only two that have experience in the NFL, at least playing experience.
Okay.
So
Well,
they have a really good chance.
ooh, Seattle Dragons, watch out. This is a big watch out team.
Agreed.
Um, Orlando, the Orlando Guardians.
Hmm.
I bet they have a huge rivalry with the DC Defenders. Who can guard or defend the best?
Ooh, there you go.
It would have been cool if they were like the Orlando Alligators.
Yeah.
That I think that's a cooler name. Florida's got wild, I mean, absurd like alligator farms, sanctuaries, whatever you want to call them, you can go to and just toss food off a bridge and they go
Crazy on it.
ballistic.
Yeah.
So
Swamp monsters should have been.
oh, the Orlando Swamp Monsters.
Ooh,
Be sure.
okay. We'll make it happen.
They're coached by Terrell Buckley. Uh, what did he ever do?
I just recognize the name. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. He coached in the NFL, got drafted to the NFL. Um, this is an interesting pick for a coach. This is this is somebody that I feel like you don't really know, and maybe that's good. I don't know though. This team looks like kind of a quasi disaster to me. Their quarterback is going to be Quentin Dormady.
Couldn't call it. I don't know.
DeAndre Francois or Darius Clark. You tell me. I don't know a single one of them, and they all went to absurd schools. Central Michigan, Hampton, Newberry. I don't even know where Newberry is. If I had to guess, that's very East Coast, but
I want to say Newberry's probably a high school. Just for fun. I don't know.
They got nobody I recognize. And this is what I think the XFL teams probably should look like. This is a bottom half team.
Okay.
For sure.
I can agree with that.
I think the Guardians and Defenders are going to be fighting for last place.
Okay.
I think in a league where what is going to matter the absolute most is like, can your quarterback get the ball out accurately? You know, they don't have that juice. I think everyone's defense is going to be pretty comparable. I just think the offense is going to be what drives the wins.
Yeah, what I could see happening is probably what you just said. Two teams with really good offenses, and then everybody else is just going to have good defenses, and the 6 teams that are bad at offense are just going to be.
Yeah, and I don't even think I would call them like necessarily good defenses. I would just say they're beating inept offenses.
Sure, there you go.
So I'm not a fan of the Guardians, not the pick of the pod. So we still got the Dragons, and we still got the Brahmas on my potential picks list.
Okay.
Now this Las Vegas team looks fun to me. Coached by Hall of Famer Rod Woodson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's in 2 Hall of Fames, college and NFL. So he might know a thing or two about the game, if you will. His team is going to be maybe the best quarterback, Brett Hundley. That's a real NFL quarterback that played real games for Green Bay. And then where did he end up after that?
Couldn't call it. Denver. But I do know that he's played in the NFL.
Yeah, he always had that ridiculously tiny helmet. I think he's going to annihilate this league.
Okay.
I'm certain he's just going to destroy them. They have Rod Smith from Ohio State at running back. That is a name I do know as well. So
that's a good pick. Geronimo Allison, another Green Bay guy at wide receiver. That's pretty cool.
I think they might have the most pro level talent.
Okay.
I'm going to pick them as a top two team.
Wow. Okay. I'll say top half.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have an NFL quarterback.
Sure, fair enough.
I like their mascot or their team name. The Vegas Viper sounds cool.
Good alliteration.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this earlier. I got to bring it up again though. If you're going to be the Seattle Sea Dragons, why not just be the Seattle Sea Snakes?
Yeah, or the Seattle Serpents, maybe. I don't know.
But I agree. Dragons is just fine.
I agree.
You don't have to be the Sea Dragons.
That was in no need of fixing. The Seattle Dragons sounds great.
It was a cool name to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a miss on their part. But I mean, you could have called them the Vegas Striking Vipers. Lame. Yeah. So good for them for not botching that. It'd be fun to go watch them though.
Would be.
Brett Hundley MVP. I'm gonna put that in the basket right now.
Wow, I love that.
I don't know if they do an MVP. XVP.
XVP. Mm. And if they do call it the XVP,
that's my money. That's
give me.
All right. And the final team, the St. Louis Battlehawks. And right off the bat, before we get into the coaches, the players, I got whoever is running their social media is pretty good at it. but do not say caw is the law. Stop saying that.
That's poop.
That I really wanted to like this team, and they just so many things just say caw is the law. And everyone in the comments says, no, it's caw is the law. They just keep tweeting caw. They're full of shit. So now we can get into the coach, Anthony Beck. He was a former NFL player, tight end, and he is probably going to get blown out.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about him, but he does have another NFL quarterback. AJ McCarron is not a good quarterback, but he was a sweet backup.
And good in college.
Yeah, remember, was it? It was either a playoff game or the national championship when the camera zoomed in on his girlfriend.
And, that was him?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And Brent Musburger just like creamed his pants. Look at how beautiful she is.
It's coming back.
I'd like to give her a kiss. I don't think he said that, but I
think so.
He was.
But yeah, she's a real looker.
Yeah, he got so horned up, dude.
Oh, he's playing for something here. Okay, I remember. Yeah.
Brent lost his mind. So if you're a college quarterback and you're good looking, you got a good looking girlfriend, and the camera goes to her, something bad is going to happen. Because most recently, right? Who was that? Dad just finger popped.
Oh no. Yeah.
Finger popped that b-hole.
Was it the TCU quarterback? I can't remember who it was.
This is gonna bother me, but yeah. That was cool, I guess. I mean, his dad scooped that boot. He's not allowed to go to no more games.
That's so. I'd be so pissed off at my dad. I might kill my dad. Oh man, that's bad. So it's so good.
Dude, it's on national TV, and he just.
It is the lesson there that you have. If you're a starting college quarterback on a nationally televised game, you have to make sure your girlfriend is mid to ugly.
Yeah, otherwise there's going to be a camera.
Even your dad is going to try to fondle her.
Oh,
that's so bad.
Oh my God. This is want to touch the hiney.
Oh man. That family's probably been going through some shit, man.
That's an implosion on the highest level.
Oh, man. I will say you're low on the St. Louis Battlehawks. I'm going to say they finish in the top 4.
Okay. They do have a good quarterback. They have a legitimate quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll show his girlfriend again.
For everybody in the nation, I sure hope so.
He played on the Patriots, right?
McCarron?
Yeah. Or was that another like Alabama guy that I'm just I wonder.
I feel like McCarron is definitely a Browns quarterback, but I could be wrong.
You think he just was king of the Browns? Raiders, Bengals, Atlanta.
Okay, Bengals, close enough.
that seems right. All right. I thought I can't remember who I'm thinking of now for the Patriots. Another classic quarterback that was never going to get a play. Shuts out Tom Brady. Shuts out retirement.
Yeah.
Don't buy that sand.
Buy our sand. We swear it's from the same spot.
It didn't come from my backyard at all. Not filled with cat shit either.
Selling litter in jars would be great. But buy our sand. It's not litter.
Barely used. Barely. So that is the final team, which I am immediately eliminating because they won't stop saying caca.
Okay, that's a fair reason.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So who were your final? The Dragons and
the Dragons, Vipers, and the Brahmas.
Okay, drum roll, please.
In third place, The Brahma Bulls, they're out. They're out. Okay.
All right.
I can't trust Antonio to be a good coach. Good player, sure. But I'm a gambling man. We're going Vegas. Final answer.
For your top pick, that's your team?
Team of destiny.
If there's going to be a city that the XFL is going to really thrive in, it would probably be Vegas, I would say.
Vegas Vipers till the end.
That's awesome. I like that pick.
I hope we have a heated rivalry this year.
Vipers and Dragons?
Yes.
That would be fun.
If they play in Seattle, we are going to go and these games, there's a lot of games on FX. That's kind of sick. Wonder how you tell if they're playing at home or away.
We're checking tickets now to the Vipers Seattle game.
This is important. Okay, cool. No, I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay, we're not checking tickets, but they are available, it looks like.
Oh, no, so they are, okay, so they are playing Seattle in Vegas.
Oh, bummer. Oh,
and then the last game of the season, Sunday, April 23rd, will be at Seattle.
Okay, we're going to have to check.
We're going.
That would be fun. That gives us plenty of time to work on it, too. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. We'll give you a live update. That'll be actually kind of fun. So that wraps up XFL, teams of the pod, the Seattle Dragons and the Vegas Vipers. I think this is going to be a good season for us.
I think so.
I think this will be fun to cover. I hope people are interested in following along with the XFL in the lapse of no real football. And then I think in another 2 weeks' time, we are going to announce a singular USFL team for the pod.
Oh, you're not going to let me pick my team.
Oh no, I think we might all align there.
Oh, cool, good. All right.
I'm almost certain we will all align.
Tune in next time to hear our USFL.
No, choice. I think that's a couple weeks down the road.
Tune in a couple weeks to hear our.
I mean, the USFL doesn't start till April. I feel like. I mean, this XFL starting in 15 days. 14 days, I think.
Sweet.
Might be even sooner than that.
Oh,
February 18th.
Yeah.
First quick game. I like that they're playing on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
I like that The Rock is really pushing this. I've seen more XFL commercials in the past 2 weeks than the entirety of the 2020 year when they tried to launch.
And the commercial that we saw today during the Pro Bowl, The Rock's voice was actually in it. So he's actually involved.
He cares more than Vince did.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
I was talking about it with my dad. I really hope that they do try within every legal ability that they can, but I do kind of hope that we see a little bit of some NFL blitz style rules.
Sure.
And the the last time that they did this, the mid-game player interviews.
Oh, so good.
Were great.
Are you hurt? Yes.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Who was that? That was an all-time interview. Him just being like, yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm just going to keep playing because it's the XFL.
The one that I loved the most was, I can't remember who the quarterback was, but they were losing at halftime. And he was just like, yeah, we're losing. We suck. I'm really not having a good time. And I wish we weren't doing this interview right now. And then obviously the coach heard about that or saw it, maybe even.
Insta bench.
And it was just like, yeah, you're on the bench, buddy.
He's lucky he didn't send him to the bus.
Oh, that's so fun. We need those interviews. That's a fun aspect of the game.
They should have like a tweet zone where you can go in this box and send out a tweet from the XFL account and just be like, we're getting screwed today, or did you see that play?
Ooh, real-time social media interaction with players.
Yes.
That would also be fun.
I think the money's better now too.
They pumped a lot into it.
Because I know they're paying Hundley like $200,000.
Nice.
Is, I guess, the report I saw. So if they can really get some money into this, it might not be too long before, you see them steal a fourth round draft pick or something. That'd be cool to see.
Wouldn't that be? Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
back in the good old day when the USFL was taking number one picks. It's wild.
It would be interesting. I think we probably talked about it. They've been talking like the USFL is going to be eventually become like a development league, like the G League for NBA. So I think this XFL league maybe might just be more of like a fun entertainment style football.
Yeah.
But you never know. Maybe it's the exact opposite, and the XFL becomes the development league. So
Yeah. I mean, whichever one of between the XFL and USFL draws more attention will get more money, which will get more players, which will then probably turn it into the development league. So I think there's a real battle for knockoff NFL. Because nothing ever beats the NFL.
nothing.
Um, I like where we left that. Good for us. Good for the XFL.
Firm handshakes all around.
Firm handshake. I'm going to try to meet The Rock.
Okay. We should all try to get you to meet.
Yeah, I would. I would try to stunner him.
I would rather you not try to assault the owner of a league, but hey.
And you know what? Honestly, this might line up pretty well. By the time there's a second expansion in the XFL, uh, we might be able to buy a team.
Maybe.
Let's think about that.
Yeah. I'll start saving right now.
Okay. Every penny counts.
All right. It will be pennies. We'll try.
That was the XFL recap. Moving to final thoughts. I think we've done what we needed to do today. Big Kyrie trade. Who would have guessed? Who cares? I'll check in on the NBA come April. That will be when we give our first NBA breakdown.
Okay. That would be fun. At blockbuster trade, very I think fun for the Mavericks. I think Luka and Kyrie can just play. It is going to be fun to see. But regardless, NBA is known for not playing defense. So if they both average 30 points a game, nobody should be surprised.
No, and I think Kevin's trying to get out of the Brooklyn area as quickly as possible.
Yeah, how many failed experiments can an NBA team have before it's just like we got to be comfortable being last place in the league?
Yeah, I don't know. The rare super team fail. What do you do? I guess Kyrie just finally fell off the edge of the flat earth.
Well, they gave him an offer and his team said absolutely not. So, I mean,
he's kind of the Russell Wilson of the NBA.
Ooh, good comparison.
His team does this talking for him. I don't think that's necessarily a fair comparison though to Russell. Russell doesn't say like super crazy things, but
yeah, that's true.
He does weird TikToks
and Subway commercials,
and just not in his cards.
Do you think Kyrie feels dangerous?
What is that sandwich called now?
I don't remember what they changed the name to. They might have just taken it off completely from their sandwich roster.
the Dange sandwich. Dangewich. Hey, I got a secret too. I'm feeling dangerous.
If any person walks up to me and whispers those things in my ear, I'm taking off on a full sprint.
Do you have a secret? Because I do.
I'm out of there.
What a dumb commercial.
I'm gonna feel like that college player's girlfriend with the dad whispering in her ear.
We didn't cover it last week, but shouts out to Stetson Bennett for drunk tanking it so hard.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Aren't you a little old for that, bud?
He's just having a good time.
both the starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl are younger than him.
That's kind of wild. Yeah.
I don't know if Mahomes is. Mahomes might be like a year older, but he's also been in the league for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's a tough look, but not as not as good as Baker getting drunk and running away and getting taken out.
Yeah. That's all time. But yeah, it definitely hurts his stock.
No one's drafting a 26-year-old.
I'm talking about he'd be a great bench presence, a great practice squad quarterback.
I hope he got his like doctorate's degrees. Been there so long.
That guy is not a doctor of anything.
Well, not like you.
I'm the doctor. What can I say?
Uh, Steph Curry hurt his knee.
Yeah, out until
All-Star break.
yeah,
Whatever.
I mean, the NBA is classic for load management. It's probably just that, but
Okay. What do you got? Anything left?
I don't know. Do we go with a little bit of free form
Yeah.
and try to think of some things to maybe set up for next week as well?
Okay. We'll set up next week. We will be covering the funniest things I saw that week.
Okay. In just life or in
Just
sports?
in life.
Okay.
Uh, Probably focused heavily on sports.
Okay.
And then obviously we'll be discussing the Super Bowl. Heavily discussing the Super Bowl.
How could we not?
Let's just give our picks for Super Bowl right now.
Sure.
On three.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Chiefs.
Eagles.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have just been the most well-rounded team in the playoffs. Great defense, obviously great offense.
We have to bet on it.
Okay. Jalen Hurts playing well. Might still even be injured and still playing at a high level. So
That's fake news. My quarterback is the best.
Mahomes?
Stafford.
Oh,
No, Mahomes is awesome. It should be a pretty good game. There was that bet they got out for both Kelsey brothers to score a touchdown.
yeah,
Good luck.
that would be something.
But then there was also the rumor floating around that he would be a great running back.
Jason Kelsey?
Yes.
Oh, dude, if they give him the ball, they should. Because didn't he say that he's retiring regardless of how the Super Bowl turns out?
I don't know if I've heard that yet, but I could see that. He's getting up there. He's not as old as Whitworth was, but I mean, he's been beat up.
And he did get injured and sat out a couple weeks, I think, in the season this year.
I could see him calling it after this. So we're opposite sides of this. Here's the bet. What we talked about earlier.
Okay.
We're jamming a whole can
No.
live on stream. We can do threes.
Yeah. Can we do a whole can of three?
Yeah, we'll do a can of threes for you.
Can it be like after dinner too, so I have the most food possible
you
in my
can
system?
you can set up the stipulation however you want. If we're gonna watch the Super Bowl here, we might try to get a setup where we live stream us watching it. Because we talked about that as a company goal.
My stomach is already just in pain. I know I'm gonna win, but it's that's all right. You know what? Fuck it.
Deals. This is gonna be awesome.
Damn it. I hate that. All right, whatever. That's fine.
Losing is like winning.
Let's see.
We also are fast approaching baseball season.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna be tapped into that pretty firm.
Yeah, I know I'm going to at least 4 games this year. I already bought tickets to 3 of them. So shout out Mariners.
Shout out Mariners.
Let's get that 2 years in a row playoff. Hearing it here first.
Okay. I love that. I love that. The Mariners are going to be awesome.
I think so.
They're usually pretty fun anyway. You have any plans going forward for this? Give me an idea.
No, I was just kind of thinking we kind of talk about like what other sport we're kind of most excited to talk about. I'm not a big baseball guy, but I am a big Mariners guy. So I'm excited to talk about them. I do want to get more into NBA, and then also same sport, March Madness as well. I think will be fun to cover. So,
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a breakdown of that coming up shortly.
yeah, what we should probably do is make our brackets and then just show people in the video.
I agree.
I think that'd be fun.
So we're about a month out from that, month and a half out from that.
Sweet.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, about a month. Um, are you excited for any other sports or maybe any other sporting events?
I don't know. I hope that we can cover a little more basketball. I do like that idea. I know a lot of people probably don't like it, but a little sprinkling of hoop talk.
Sure.
I like hoops talk. But it is not a great time to just cover it mid-season. Maybe pick it up, like I said, in a few months or at All-Star break. Because I do like the All-Star game for basketball a lot. Other than that, I think we're rounded into form. We're gonna keep pumping out the entertainment, and if people want to listen, that's awesome.
Yeah, today was short, sweet, to the point, and with the NFL stopping, there's no stopping us.
No, we're gonna just start filling it with nonsense. Also, I would like to just start reaching out to XFL guys, see if we can't get an interview. That'd be so cool.
Oh man, I bet we could get an XFL kicker.
That'd be sick. It's fine with me. Kickers are players too.
It's true.
I've always said that.
I believe you haven't said the opposite, but that's okay.
Hunters are people too. Till next time or what?
Until next time.
See ya.
Later.